At Global Brigades, we're committed to building a world of greater equality, in which all people are empowered to create a better life for themselves and their families. We do this by partnering with rural and under-resourced communities in Latin America and West Africa. We powerfully and concretely change the lives of our community partners by making investments in healthcare, economic development, and clean water. This empowerment process kicks off with brigades, 7 to 10-day collaborations between university students, community members, and local staff to build the community's infrastructure and capacity for development. But after a brigade is ended, what happens to the work that we've done? How is it sustained? How is it built upon? The answer to this question can be found in our relationship with Zozular. Zozular is a farming community in rural Honduras and one of Global Brigades' first partners. Community leaders reached out to Global Brigades back in 2009, and soon, brigades were training health workers to deliver year-round medical care, establishing a banking system to drive prosperity, and constructing a water system to bring clean water into every home. But we didn't just invest in infrastructure, we invested in people. We knew that the community's members would ultimately be the ones responsible for sustaining anything that we did. We therefore trained and cultivated local leadership and built the capacity of the community to initiate and sustain their own projects. By 2012, Zozular didn't need us. It was providing its own members with health care, economic opportunity, and clean water. What Zozular taught us is this: we're successful when a community is empowered to lead its own development. So what's Global Brigades' role in all of this? And how does our role change as a community grows more empowered? We start out as a spark. Our brigaders and staff help community members get the training, infrastructure, and support they need to kick off a holistic cycle of development. Together, we build essential infrastructure and invest in the community's capacity for development. Once the community's fires are lit, however, our job is to step back. We stop sending brigades material assistance and instead focus on deepening relationships with the community and supporting local leadership. We become like old friends and trusted advisors. Global Brigades technicians meet with community leaders, check up on health and water infrastructure, and consult on different initiatives. We sustain the relationship, and we ensure that the fire we helped spark years ago continues to grow for years to come. Making this transition can be hard for us sometimes. It can be tempting to think that our community partners will always need us, and that there will always be a need for more brigades. The truth we learned from Zozular, however, is that success is when communities are empowered to lead their own development. This is when we get to celebrate. We link arms with our community partners and celebrate the change that we've made in each other's lives. Global Brigades envisions thousands of Zozulars, where every community is empowered to take charge of its own development. To get there, we're going to have to grow the movement. This is where you come in. 1. Join a brigade. Work alongside peers and community members to set in motion a community sustainable development. You can learn more at globalbrigades.org. 2. Contribute to the Sustainable Transition Fund. Accelerate the pace of change with a direct donation to our programs. For every $100 invested, we can double the impact of a volunteer's contribution to our communities. You can make a gift at globalbrigades.org/donate. Whether it be your time or funds, we invite you to join us. Together, we're creating a more equitable world in which all people are able to provide for themselves and their families. This is how we define success. This is empowerment. This is Global Brigades.
There is no access for doctors, there are no access for medications. That trying to have a consultation for them means walk 2-3 hours all the way down to a health center to find it close, or hear from a doctor that there is no medicines and that they have to buy it.
Solo tenemos el centro de salud con una enfermera, pero no tenemos médico y tampoco medicamentos.
Me queda muy largo el hospital y aquí, bueno, ya hoy que vinieron, está más cerca de mi casa. Para transportarme hasta Choluteca es muy largo.
Las enfermedades más comunes, al igual que el resto del país, pues tenemos lo que son las infecciones del tracto respiratorio, las diarreas, las infecciones de la piel, tenemos las enfermedades crónicas, tales como la hipertensión, la diabetes.
Diseases that we treat during brigades are respiratory disease, skin problems, and in the last years we have an increase in high blood pressure and diabetes too.
La coordinación con Globals nos ayuda mucho a beneficiar a la gente.
The medical brigade works like a mobile clinic. We have the first station that is intake, that is managed and handled by people and volunteers of the communities. After the patient receives her patient form and gives all her personal information, it moves down to the next station in the brigade, that is triage. Triage is handled by the students, by the volunteers. You take all the signs of vitals, weight, height, temperature, blood pressure, and you ask the patient what is the main chief complaint, what he or she in the brigade.
They talk to us about symptoms they have and problems they've been having, things like fever or blood pressure or stomach pain.
She or he sit down in front of the doctors and explain to the doctors her illness or her pain. They are seen by the doctor, they are checked out by the doctor, and the doctor prescribes the medication that they need.
And honestly, they didn't even seem tired. It was amazing. And so I asked, how do you do this? Like, how do you continue to work, throughout the entire day? And he said, because it's not just because, we're treating them and it's just, my job. It's honestly, it's something I love to do, love helping others and saving lives. Without these doctors, this couldn't happen.
Once they leave the consultation room, if it's a woman and if she needs or she asks for it, she moves to the pap smear station. We are helping a lot of women that they don't have access to have this test because of economic situation, because they have to move all the way down to the city for seeing a doctor. And 2 or 3 weeks later, they receive the results of that pap smear for free, and if they need any treatment, they also receive that treatment for free. The other station, that is dental station.
I'm a dentist and I've been working with Global Brigades more than 2 years. This is what we do in medical brigades. Dentistry, pure dentistry, diagnosis and treatments of our patients every day. When we work in medical brigades, 90% of our patients are in pain. We basically do two different treatments, extractions and fillings.
We perform fillings, extractions, cleanings, fluorizations.
This is a very amazing opportunity because we can provide dental treatments and dental care to everyone. We had the opportunity to go to the school and get a degree, and now it's time to give back a little bit to the people who really need in our country.
After they have seen the doctors, they have seen the dentists, and they have the pap smears, patients move to the educational stations.
Not only do we treat the patients, but we teach them on how to improve their health.
Where volunteers of the community talk to them of several health topics, like how to purify water, how to keep the latrines clean, how to deal with high blood pressure problems, with diabetes. They learn about cervical cancer, about prostate exams and prostate cancer. So they receive this information, and the great part of this station is that it's performed by volunteers of the community. Volunteers that previously had been trained by our staff members, the preparation of the brigade, and we are empowering them. We're empowering the community, and we are involving them and getting them involved with our job.
Lo que nos ha dado el doctor Bruce, pues yo me siento pues capacitada para tomar una presión arterial, por ejemplo, para saber cuando una persona necesita ayuda porque está deshidratada por una diarrea o también por una neumonía, pulmonía. Eso lo he aprendido del Dr. Bruce.
While they are on this charla, the members or the team of pharmacy is working, preparing all the prescriptions that the doctors gave to these patients, so that when the charla ends, they receive all their medications for free.
The whole idea of Global Brigades is that it's not just one aspect. There are multiple aspects: microfinance, business, architecture, medical, of course. We could attain sustainability.
No voy a decir que todo es fácil, no voy a decir que todo es tranquilo, es difícil, pero creo que al final del día, cuando logras tus propósitos, sí te sientes satisfecho, sí te sientes bien.
Business Brigades is arguably the most important program in Global Brigades Panama, as it relates to the long-term sustainability and impact in these communities. Business Brigades is important because it works with community members to establish a capital and banking infrastructure that will perpetuate health and development projects long after international volunteers come to these communities.
Your 7-day Business Brigade has the potential to change the economic conditions of an entire family and give you a life-changing perspective on the economic realities and opportunities of the developing world.
During the brigade, you will work directly with families in small teams to facilitate loans, provide business consulting through idea sharing, and deliver basic educational workshops about savings and financial planning.
In the future, as loans are continually dispersed and repaid with interest, eventually the cooperatives will become self-sustaining. So what does a brigade look like? On your first day in the community, you will participate in a welcome ceremony where you will meet the community, dance, mingle, and get an introduction to local culture.
On your second day, you will meet the community members that operate the cooperative.
They volunteer for these positions and are trained, supervised, and given guidance on a continual basis by our in-country staff year-round. The committee leaders will give context to the current opportunities and challenges of their fellow community members. After that, you will have your first chance to meet the families that you'll be working with throughout the week. This is a unique opportunity to get to know each other and to begin to understand the values and principles that drive the family's financial decisions. Over the next 4 to 5 days, you will spend time with these families assessing their needs, assets, and financial goals in order to help them develop a banking strategy which may include the facilitation of a loan or help them establish a bank account with a community cooperative. Additionally, you will be conducting consultative workshops on a basic financial planning, income maximization, environmental and social considerations for their businesses. Ultimately, it is your role to empower them to develop their financial goals and to work together to create a concrete plan to achieve these goals. The eventual goal is to have families grow their community cooperative into a recognized entrepreneurial association so they can access larger loans from traditional banks within Panama. This is true financial freedom, when rural farmers can apply for loans, own land, and integrate into the Panamanian legal system as a recognized financial entity.
Bien, yo soy Marcelino Berrugate, soy oriundo de la comunidad de Embenapuru. Bueno, yo en lo personal visualizo que la cooperativa tiene una función muy importante. ¿El por qué? Porque, por ejemplo, si un miembro socio o no socio puede abrir una cuenta de ahorro en la cooperativa, si no es más barato porque hay un banco, una sucursal en Metetí, que yo tengo que pagar entre ida y vuelta $4. Sin embargo, si yo tengo la cooperativa aquí, yo no voy a hacer no voy a salir de la comunidad y ahorro mi dinero, ¿sí? Y el ahorro entonces es para una mejor calidad de vida de la persona que está ahorrando. Porque yo puedo ahorrar y ahorrar. Con el tiempo yo tengo un ahorro y yo veo que tengo una necesidad en mi casa, la compro. Tan pronto yo compro, ya yo me siento feliz y eso es una mejora para mi calidad de vida. Y yo me imagino que los compañeros eso es lo que están entendiendo y así yo quisiera que fuera.
Hi, so I'm Raymond Huar. I'm the president of the Global Brigades chapter at Miami University. And our chapter recently just took a trip to Imbira, Peru, and it has been an absolutely phenomenal experience. I think it can be one of the best experiences you do in college. Not only do you get practical experience, but you're going to another country, you learn about their culture, which is a big benefit both to you personally, and you're making a huge impact on their lives, and they're so eager to learn. And it's just very rewarding. You're really like setting yourself apart because you're getting this practical experience and you're making a genuine positive impact on another part of the world. You'll be so happy you came. I guarantee you won't regret it.
Throughout your business brigade, you will definitely learn more than you can teach. You will also get an appreciation and a deeper understanding for the complexities in rural financial development. So if you've ever wondered, what impact can you have in this world? We ask that you join a business brigade, because if you do not participate, you cannot understand, and if you don't understand, you can't help.
Estoy creciendo 2 nietos con dificultades por el agüita para manejar los aseados. Y un día que fui a lavar, me pongo a darle vuelta a la bomba y caí desmayada al suelo porque ya no aguantaba la fuerza de la bomba. Entonces yo ahora me siento muy feliz por este líquido que los han traído ustedes. Me consiento muy contenta por tenerlas a ustedes acá, que los van a dejar un poco feliz de la vida por lo principal, que es el líquido, el agua, que lo necesitamos a cada momento.
¿Cuál es el...?
I grew up in Honduras and I went to the United States 5 years ago. I thought that joining this organization, I could impact the lives of where I grew up or the community that I saw had struggles the most.
The reason we started this club was so that we can apply what we've learned in a classroom setting onto real-world experience.
As the days have gone by with the brigade and like what Marco is teaching us, a lot of it we learn in school, so it's really great to apply what we learn in school into a project.
My name is Marco Landa. I'm the program lead for these new engineering brigades. We work on empowering students by demonstrating and implementing our methods for assessing a community for a water project, talking with community members about what access they have to water, types of jobs in the community, distances they travel, and the risks they face while getting the water.
You really have to think about what materials you're going to use, what manpower, how you're going to transport everything to that area. So it really makes you think outside the box.
Students evaluate potential water sources based on the location, type of system needed, and the flow rate the source has. Students collect data then by mapping community houses and its potential distribution network.
We have been doing calculations with regards to the water system that we were going to be installing. We have been mapping the area.
Sites of the water source and where the tank would be set, and along the streets of where the pipelines were going to go.
Knowing about the different diameters, the different kind of pipes that need to be used, I think that's definitely something that students are able to apply here on the Engineering Brigade project.
Engineering brigades also play a pivotal role in follow-up for past water systems by testing pH and chlorine levels of the previous water project.
And on this, it puts aside the money, it puts aside everything else, and it just leaves the willing to do it to help out somebody else's life.
When you come here and you see the necessities these people face, and with engineering we can make an impact.
By having student volunteers come to Honduras as critical thinkers, communities have access to the technical insights and efforts that will bring potable water to their homes in the future.
Fuerza del mar que se mete por tu vena, lo caliente del sol que se te metió y no